Hello, 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 and thank you for joining me, my peeps, for another episode of Wealthy Wednesdays. Let's dive right in. Today I want to talk about something that I've been watching rage back and forth on the internet for the last couple of years especially, and that is this whole argument on whether you should rent a home or buy a home. Now, I already did a video on this last year, and you can go to my YouTube channel, Intentional Money Solutions, and you can search under how to know when to buy a home, and that video will pop up for you. It will tell you the things you need to have in place to know when is the right time and the right way to buy a home. So, I'm not going to speak on that. What I am going to address is whether or not you should own, and having listened to both sides of the argument and had the personal experience of renting and owning, I'm going to say own your own home. You need to own your own home. And it all comes down to one thing, and that is housing security. It really comes down to housing security. And there are 4 things that will give you housing security when you buy a home, and I'm going to run through that right now. Number 1, they can't raise your rent. Your landlord can't come in to the home you own and say, you know what, I think I want to double your rent. Can't do that. Your mortgage is fixed if you get a fixed rate mortgage like I tell you. And the only thing that will go up is your taxes. You can plan for that, but that's not going to be some crazy explosive number. As long as you follow my guidelines and do your homework ahead of time, you know whether or not you're in for that sort of surprise. Number 2, you can eventually end your housing payment. You can't do that with rent. When you rent forever, and you will always have a rental payment. But with a mortgage, you can actually set an end date to when you'll pay payments every month for the home you live in. That is a beautiful thing. Number 3, equity. When you rent, you have no equity. When you own, you are constantly building something called equity. Now, I'm not going to get into the arguments of whether you draw on that or anything like that, but if you need it for whatever reason, it is there when you own your home. And number 4, it's yours. Nobody can tell you to leave. There are times when a landlord will tell their tenants they have to leave. And that will be either because the bank foreclosed on the home, they decide to sell the home, and the new owner doesn't want tenants there, or the landlord decides, you know what? My cousin Mike or my mother-in-law, they really need a place to live, so when your lease ends, I'm going to move them in. You need to get out. So that's something that can't happen to you when you own your home. It's yours. You decide how long you want to stay there and when you want to leave, and you leave on your own terms, baby. Nobody can make you leave. So those are the 4 things that give you housing security and the reasons why I say you should own your home. Now, you might think to yourself, man, the way the housing market is nowadays, will I ever be able to afford to own a home? Yes. You can get there. And if you feel you need to have a plan on how to get there, I'll be happy to help you. Just comment home below or DM me requesting a free discovery session, and we can talk about the strategy that you can put in place personally for yourself so that you can become a home owner and gain that all-important housing security. And let me tell you something else I didn't mention. There is nothing like sitting in your backyard or putting your own toes in your own grass and knowing that it's yours. Own your own home, people. Thank you. That's it for today's episode of Wealthy Wednesdays. Thanks for joining me. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye now.